I'd been doing food delivery for almost 2 years, but one order at 3:07 a.m. made me delete the app before the sun came up. Most late-night deliveries were the same. Fast food, drunk college kids, couples too lazy to cook. Nothing memorable. I worked in a quiet suburban area outside of Cleveland, where neighborhoods stretched for miles and everything went dead after midnight. That night started slow. I was parked outside a gas station, drinking burnt coffee and scrolling my phone while waiting for orders. Rain had passed through about an hour earlier, leaving the roads wet and reflective. The streets were empty. No cars, no people. At around 2:50 a.m., an order popped up. One item. Large fries, pickup from a 24-hour diner. The payout was unusually high, $38 for a 10-minute drive. I almost ignored it because the destination looked weird. The map showed a dead-end road near a wooded area outside town. There weren't many houses out there, but $38 for fries at 3 in the morning was hard to pass up. I accepted it. The diner was empty except for one cook cleaning the grill. He handed me the bag without saying much. I noticed the receipt had no name on it, just a random string of numbers. I got back into my car and checked the delivery instructions. Don't knock, come to the backyard, leave food by the woods. I remember staring at that last line. By the woods. Something about it felt wrong. I almost canceled right there, but I told myself people leave weird instructions all the time. I started driving. The farther I went, the darker it got. Streetlights disappeared after a few miles. The GPS took me through long winding roads, lined with trees and spaced out houses. Eventually, I turned onto the dead-end street. The entire road looked abandoned. No porch lights, no parked cars. Half the mailboxes were tipped over. The woods surrounded both sides of the street so tightly, it almost looked like the road had been carved through the forest. The address was at the very end. A 2-story house sat there behind overgrown bushes. No lights inside. The place looked empty. Not run down exactly. Just forgotten. I pulled into the driveway slowly. The headlights passed over peeling paint and boarded up windows on one side of the house. Weeds grew through cracks in the concrete. One of those plastic kiddie pools sat overturned near the garage filled with rainwater. I checked the address twice. It matched. I grabbed the fries and stepped out. The second I closed my car door, everything went quiet. No insects, no traffic, nothing. Just distant wind moving through trees. I walked toward the front porch first, mostly out of instinct, but then remembered the instructions. Backyard. I looked toward the side gate. It hung partially open. That feeling started then. The feeling that somebody was watching me. Not paranoia, exactly. More like instinct. I kept looking toward the woods beside the house. They were dense enough that my headlights barely reached past the first few trees. I told myself to hurry up, drop the food, leave. I walked through the gate into the backyard. The grass was overgrown almost to my knees. There was an old swing set back there rusting in the dark. Beyond that was nothing but woods. Then I saw the chair, a folding lawn chair positioned at the very edge of the tree line, facing the house, and beside it was a small lantern glowing dimly. That was apparently where they wanted the food left. I remember thinking how insane the whole thing was. I took a few steps forward, then stopped, because I noticed something near the chair, another bag of food. Old, soggy from rain, then another one, and another. At least 4 different delivery bags scattered near the woods. My stomach dropped. They weren't cleaned up. Nobody had taken them. I slowly backed up. That's when I heard movement behind me. Not loud, just the sound of shoes brushing wet grass. I turned around fast. Nobody there, but I knew I'd heard it. My heart started pounding hard enough that I could feel it in my throat. I pulled out my phone and opened the app again, ready to leave the order and go. The customer had sent a new message. Bring it closer. I froze. I hadn't heard any notification. The message timestamp showed it had been sent 2 minutes earlier. I looked toward the woods again. The lantern still glowed near the chair. And then I saw him, a silhouette standing between the trees, completely still. I couldn't make out his face, just a tall shape in dark clothing, watching me. I immediately started backing away. "Delivery's here," I called out, trying to sound normal. No response. The figure didn't move. I set the fries down right there in the grass and turned toward the gate. Then another message appeared. "Wrong spot." I broke into a fast walk. Every nerve in my body was screaming now. Halfway to the gate, I heard movement again. Closer this time, like someone stepping carefully through grass behind me. I got through the gate and into the driveway. Then I heard a voice, calm, quiet. "Eric." I stopped cold. That was my name. I never used my real name on the app. My profile only showed the first initial. I slowly turned around. The man was standing near the corner of the house now. Tall, thin, wearing a dark hooded sweatshirt. I still couldn't see his face clearly. "What?" I asked. He tilted his head slightly. "You forgot the drink." There was no drink in the order. I didn't answer. I just got into my car and locked the doors immediately. The man didn't move. He just stood there watching me through the windshield. Then my phone buzzed again. Another message. "You came here last month too?" I stared at it, confused. I had no memory of this place. Then another message came through. "I saw your badge." A cold feeling spread through my chest. My work lanyard. I kept it hanging from my rearview mirror. It had my full name on it. The man slowly stepped closer to the car. I threw the car into reverse instantly. The tires slipped on the wet driveway before catching traction. As I backed out, the headlights swept across him fully for the first time. Middle-aged, unshaven, smiling. Not normal smiling either. The kind where somebody looks genuinely excited. I sped down the dead-end road without looking back. About halfway down the street, I glanced in the mirror. Headlights appeared behind me. A truck. It hadn't been there before. It pulled onto the road fast. My stomach dropped again. I pushed my speed higher. The truck stayed behind me through every turn, no matter how fast I drove. I remember gripping the steering wheel so hard my hands hurt. The roads were empty. No gas stations. No open stores. Nothing. Just woods and darkness. I finally saw a main road ahead with a traffic light and a 24-hour pharmacy on the corner. The second I pulled into the lit parking lot, the truck slowed, then turned around, and disappeared back into the darkness. I sat there shaking for probably 10 minutes. I reported the account through the app and contacted support. They sounded half asleep and barely seemed to care. They told me they'd investigate the customer. I drove home before sunrise. I barely slept. Around noon, I decided to check something. I went through my delivery history looking for the address. The order was gone, completely removed. No record of it. No payout either. At first I thought maybe the app glitched. Then I noticed something else. Earlier that week, I'd posted a photo online after finishing a long shift. Just a dumb picture of my car with the delivery bag on the passenger seat. I remembered the lanyard hanging from the mirror, my full name visible. The post had been public. That night, lying in bed, I kept thinking about those old delivery bags near the woods. How many drivers had gone there before me? And why were they all told to come alone into the backyard? I never got answers. But the worst part happened 3 days later. I found a folded receipt tucked under my windshield wiper in my apartment parking lot. No food attached, no message. Just my name written across the back in black marker. Eric. Underneath it were 4 words. Thanks for coming back.